A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant development in international diplomacy, Iran and the United States have initiated a critical third round of negotiations in Oman, focusing on the contentious issue of uranium enrichment and the future of Tehran's nuclear program. The talks commenced in Muscat, the capital of Oman, amidst cautious optimism expressed by U.S. President Donald Trump, who stated, "The Iran situation is coming out very well." This round of discussions aims to curb Iran's nuclear activities in exchange for relief from the extensive economic sanctions that have been imposed on the country for decades. The Iranian state media confirmed the negotiations were underway, although details from the talks remain sparse as both Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi and U.S. Envoy Steve Witkoff refrained from divulging specifics. The backdrop of these negotiations is marked by Iran's ongoing economic struggles, with the country eager for sanctions relief that could alleviate the burden on its economy. Trump, speaking aboard Air Force One during his journey to Rome, expressed his belief that a new agreement could be reached. "I think we are going to have a deal. I would much rather have a deal than the other alternative. That would be good for humanity," he remarked. However, he also reiterated that military options remain on the table should diplomacy falter, cautioning against a much nastier deal that could arise if negotiations do not yield results. On the Iranian side, a spokesperson for the foreign ministry clarified that discussions regarding the country's defense and missile programs are not part of the current negotiations. Ismail Baghai emphasized that these topics have not been raised in the indirect talks with the United States. These negotiations follow a constructive second round of talks held in Rome, and come at a time when tensions have escalated since Trump's withdrawal from the 2015 nuclear agreement in 2018. Since that withdrawal, Iran has abandoned all limits on its nuclear program, enriching uranium to levels approaching weapons grade, which has raised alarms among Western nations. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has stated that any potential agreement would require Iran to completely halt uranium enrichment and to import any enriched uranium necessary for its nuclear energy needs. However, Iranian officials have firmly declared that ending their enrichment program is a red line that cannot be crossed in the negotiations. The setting of the talks is notable, as Oman has previously acted as a mediator between the two nations. The Omani Foreign Minister Badr al-Busaidi hosted Araghchi prior to the negotiations, and both sides are expected to communicate through Omani intermediaries. Adding to the complexity of the situation, a massive explosion occurred in southern Iran just after the talks commenced, injuring at least 281 people, although authorities have not yet provided a cause for the incident. This explosion underscores the volatile atmosphere surrounding the negotiations. As both sides navigate these discussions, the stakes remain high. Iran's nuclear ambitions have long been a point of contention, with many nations fearing the potential for nuclear weapon development. Iran, however, maintains that its nuclear program is intended for peaceful purposes. The outcome of these negotiations could have far-reaching implications not only for Iran and the United States, but for global security and stability in the Middle East. As the negotiations unfold, both sides will be under pressure to find common ground and avoid a return to hostilities that could have devastating consequences. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.